Okay, the most challenging part of the song, other than the syncopation, is the line where Getty starts playing the line that Alex is playing. That goes like this. Okay, I'm going to slow that down and play it for you guys so that you can see it a little slower. And what makes this an interesting finger exercise, to me at least, is that you're having to go not only going across two strings, which is kind of cool, but you're also doing it. This is basically just right out of a major scale, but you're going to fourths, and that's kind of cool. So that's the fourth and third. It's just really spelling out the scale, right? It's the syncopation that happens where one note one time the emphasis is on the D, and the next time the emphasis is on the fifth of the root, which is A, the fifth of the chord, which is A rather. So this is what I mean. It goes, excuse me, D, 5. And I'm emphasizing that. I'm kind of overemphasizing it because if you listen carefully to what Getty's playing, the rhythm, the rhythm sounds like it's just straight eighth notes, and it really is straight eighth notes. But what's interesting is the emphasis changes slightly to where it sounds almost like the time signature shifts, and it really doesn't. What's going on is just he's just putting an emphasis from the D to the A, and it changes the way the lick starts. So it sounds like I'm gonna play it one more time real slow. Same lick up here in F sharp. F sharp. C sharp. D. A. D. A. See how this works? Create a real flowing sound. I just messed that part up, but it's okay. You see what I'm saying? So you want to create this real. Getty can sing and play at the same. I can't even talk and play at the same time, but you want to create a real flowing sound with it, and that's what makes that part of the song sound really cool. And there's one more part of the song that it's kind of tricky, but it's the same basic rhythmic pattern, same basic finger pattern. It's just going up. It's moving from D to E major, and then it goes to the F sharp. So it goes like this. So then it goes up to the F sharp again. So the whole lick is this. I'm pausing obviously in between just to show you guys where the lick starts. I like to break it up into chunks, so if you put it all together, it comes out. Sorry. Okay, same thing, only slower, and I'm gonna make sure that you guys can, because I don't know about you, but whenever I learn songs, I basically record them in ScreenFlow. I'm an anti-GarageBand guy. I don't know why I'm a Mac guy, but I use ScreenFlow, which is a program that Mac uses to record the desktop primarily, and to do like cool tutorial videos. And so what I do is I just record the song, and ScreenFlow's got this really cool option where you can slow everything down, and it actually keeps the tonality. There are other programs that do that now, but back when I was learning to play the bass, it was literally on again dating myself, but it was literally on 45s and on LPs and stuff, and you would just take the needle and scratch the hell out of the record, and just keep listening. It's a lot easier now. Let me tell you, because you can learn a song literally in an hour just by slowing it down and hearing every little note, and then all you have to do is speed it up. So I've learned a lot of songs that way. I highly encourage you guys to do the same thing if you're trying to listen to it at tempo and learn it. It's great ear exercise to do that, and I can do it with some songs, but some songs you want to slow down and hear every little nuance that the bass player is playing. With Rush, there's a lot of nuanced playing. Getty uses a lot of triplets, so and he'll do that just in all sorts of different places. And so if you're trying to really learn a bass line for a Rush song where there's a lot of improvisation, it's really good to slow it down to hear exactly what he's doing, because it's just going to do nothing but help your playing. I mean, they did Rush did an entire song up, triplets. That's all triplets. Well, not all triplets. That's YYZ. And Getty plays, just another thing to toss us in if this helps. Notice how I'm playing back here, because I'm more of I like more the jazzy sound, Jocko sound. What bass player does it? I'm playing through this little crappy amp down here, and literally using a mic to pick it up. So there's no like direct to MIDI or anything, hence the shitty sound. So I apologize, but so I like to play down near the bridge, and I find it much harder to play down near the bridge. So when I learn a song, I'll learn it down near the bridge, and once I get it there, playing it up here just makes it more percussive sounding. I have my action set fairly low anyway, because what I do, I'm not a professional bass player. I used to be, but I actually am in the fitness industry. And so when you train with weights, a lot of times I know a couple guys that tour with major bands, and they're into weight training as well. And you really get your forearms cramp like crazy when you train biceps and forearms. And so I needed action set really low. It's kind of funny because people usually look at you like, wow, you could probably hold down telephone poles with these forearms. It's not true. It's exactly the opposite, man. It's hard to hold these things down. It's especially playing a whole gig. So I've got the action set pretty low, and I don't mind a little bit of fret buzz because I think it sounds cool. But Getty has a hell of a lot of fret buzz. If you listen to his isolated tracks, there's a lot of fret buzz in those things. And so, like, if you listen, especially the solo parts on YYZ, which will be another tutorial, but everybody knows this kind of, that kind of sound that he's got. You'll hear all that fret buzz in there. Help if I play it in the right key. You'll hear the fret buzz that he's getting in his licks, when he's... You can actually hear it's that percussive in places, and he plays that way live too, which I think adds a lot to the sound. When you mix it all in, you don't really hear it. When you're just playing by yourself, you hear it big time. And I love guys like Scott Devine. If you haven't seen his bass tutorials, definitely check them out. He's probably the best bass teacher, I think the best bass teacher out there. Great player, great teacher. I'm certainly not a teacher. I'm just sharing stuff with you guys, so give me a break. I am a marketing and fitness guy, but not a bass teacher. So, but he's a great bass teacher, so definitely check his stuff out. And he plays with such really crisp. You can barely hear any frets at all, and that's a great sound too. It's all just a matter of preference. So, he probably has better dexterity than I do. Oh, there we go. So let's get to this. Let's look down one more time, and we'll get to one more thing and call it a day. So we got the patterns that we were talking about earlier, where he's emphasizing D's, and when he's playing it in D, he's emphasizing the D, and he's emphasizing the A, and that changes how the lick sounds. So D, A, right? So I'm going to slow this down, and we're going to play this the last part that has the actual transition up to the from the E to the F sharp. So it goes. Okay, and it goes into that monstrous. That part, which we all love. You have to memorize unless you read music. I've memorized it. I don't even look at the sheets, so it's like I've heard it for so many years. But this is a great song for dexterity, like I said, for finger practicing. So I'm gonna play that once again a little bit faster. This is the tough transition right there to make that clean. And onward and so forth. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful.